Identify the selvage of the main fabric and place the fabric with the wrong side facing you. Identify the selvage of the interfacing. Place the interfacing with the fusible side facing the main fabric. Fuse the interfacing by pressing the iron down without dragging it. Place the patterns with the grain line parallel to the fabric selvage. Secure with pins. Mark all notches with an erasable pen. Cut. Repeat the process for the other half of the outer corset. Flip the patterns and place them with the grain line parallel to the fabric selvage. Secure with pins. Mark all notches with an erasable pen. Cut. For the lining, fold the fabric, paying attention to the selvage. Place all patterns with the grain line parallel to the fabric selvage. Mark all notches and cut. Mark the notches on the fabric layer underneath. Take the center front and bust pieces and place them right sides together. Secure with pins at the beginning, end, and notches. Add extra pins if necessary. Stitch with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Backstitch generously at the beginning and end for reinforcement, as the boning channels will be placed there. Repeat on the other side. Open the pieces you just joined and place them right sides together. Secure with pins at the beginning, notch, and end. Stitch with a 1 centimeter seam allowance along the center front. Backstitch generously at the beginning and end. Attach the front side panels, secure with pins. Stitch with a 1 centimeter seam allowance, backstitching generously at the beginning and end. Attach the back panels and secure with pins. Stitch with a 1 centimeter seam allowance, backstitching generously at the beginning and end. Using the pressing direction guide table, press all seam allowances in the indicated direction. Create the boning channels using the seam allowances that were just pressed. Stitch approximately 6 to 7 millimeters from the joining seam. Backstitch generously at the beginning and end for reinforcement. For the back section, draw a straight line from the top notch to the bottom notch. Take a 1.5 centimeter or 2 centimeter bias tape, fold it in half lengthwise, and press. This will be the back boning channel. Stitch along each side of the folded bias tape. There should be a distance of 6 to 7 millimeters between the seams. The outer corset is now complete. secure the center front and bust pieces with pins, matching the beginning, end, and notches. Add more pins if needed for stability. Stitch with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Join the front side panel to the bust with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Join the back to the front side panel with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Once the left and right halves of the corset lining are constructed, join them at the center front by stitching with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Press all seam allowances following the same pressing direction guide table. Sew a stay stitch, securing the seam allowances to the lining, stitching 2 to 3 millimeters from the joining seam. Repeat for all seam allowances. Trim the excess seam allowance from all lining seams. Place the outer corset and lining right sides together. Secure the top edge of the corset with pins, matching all the seams of the outer corset with the corresponding seams of the lining. Stitch with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. When sewing over the boning channel, stitch forward, backward, and forward again to reinforce. Press the seam allowance toward the lining. Sew a stay stitch, securing the seam allowance to the lining 2 to 3 millimeters from the joining seam. Press. Use a separating zipper. Mark where the zipper will end. (1.2 centimeters from the hem and 1 centimeter from the side edge. Open the small holes in the plastic zipper base using a flathead pin. Secure the zipper with pins or basting. Stitch one seam 0.5 centimeters from the zipper teeth and another seam as close to the zipper teeth as possible. Hand sew the bottom of the zipper, passing through the holes previously opened in the plastic base. Fold the top of the zipper into an L shape. Cut a wedge-shaped piece from the zipper tape so there is no bulk where it is folded. Hand sew the folded top section. Trim the excess zipper length. Close the zipper and position it, matching the lower ends of the fabric. Mark where the zipper will end on the other side with a pen. Move the zipper slider upward. Secure the zipper with pins or basting and stitch one seam 0.5 centimeters from the zipper teeth and another seam as close to the zipper teeth as possible. Hand sew the bottom of the zipper, passing through the holes previously opened in the plastic base. Move the zipper slider down toward the base. At the top, make the wedge-shaped cut and fold into an L shape. Hand sew. Trim the excess zipper. Press the boning at low temperature so it lies flat. Cut the boning to the lengths specified in the boning length table. Seal the ends of the boning with heat to prevent the boning from tearing the fabric once inserted into the channel. Insert each boning into its corresponding channel. Place the outer corset and lining right sides together. Secure the hem with pins, matching the seam intersections of the outer corset with those of the lining. Stitch with a 1 centimeter seam allowance, starting from the center of the corset and sewing outward. When sewing over each boning channel, stitch forward, backward, and forward again to reinforce the channel. Be careful not to sew over any boning. Repeat on the other side, starting from the center of the corset and sewing outward. Press the seam allowance toward the lining. Sew a stay stitch, securing the hem seam allowance to the lining, stitching approximately 2 to 3 millimeters from the joining seam. This step is a bit tricky, but with patience it can be done. Use the openings left near the zipper area to sew the stay stitch. Stitch from the outer edge toward the center on one side and repeat from the opposite outer edge toward the center on the other side. Trim excess seam allowance from the boning channels and trim the excess hem seam allowance. Turn the corset right side out using the opening left near the zipper sides. Press the hem. Fold the lining along the zipper area inward, just like the zipper tape, and rest. Hand sew an invisible stitch attaching the lining to the zipper. Repeat on the other side. The corset is now finished.